There's always been an air of exclusivity that comes with the Land Rover badge, something that many brands have lost in the era of mass-produced crossovers and SUVs. Still being seen as a status symbol today, the Range Rover Sport is a sophisticated and premium luxury vehicle that's maybe not the most performance-oriented, but certainly one of the most upscale SUVs in its segment. 2023 comes with a number of changes mechanically and technologically that could broaden its appeal to a larger consumer demographic, while still retaining its place as being the upper crust of an oversaturated luxury crossover and SUV market. So here are 5 reasons why you should buy a 2023 Range Rover Sport. In today's automotive world, we'd associate luxury with how much intuitive technology you have at your fingertips. And while Range Rover is still tailoring to those who desire the finer things in life, with seat comfort that far exceeds that of rivals in this market with standard 20-way power adjustable seats, Land Rover has finally caught up with the times by modernizing the cabin of the Sport. In front of you will be a full digital instrument cluster with a resolution and responsiveness that's on par with competitors. By using the haptic feedback buttons mounted on the steering wheel, you can scroll through different layouts and showcase the information that's relevant to you, such as a navigation map or going with the traditional gauges. Then as we glance over to the infotainment system, this is Jaguar Land Rover's new Pivi Pro user interface that operates very much like a tablet. You'll have wireless Apple CarPlay, onboard navigation, and the Meridian audio system, and a list of amenities that can be found on this head unit, including the ability to fold and unfold the second row seats with the press of a button, adjust the headrests, bolsters, lumbar, and cushioning for the front seats, and even control the direction of your air vents while activating climate settings for the second row. Much like the Defender we had featured earlier this year, the layout is pretty straightforward, with a number of different icons that take you to different menus, including the Vehicle tab, where you can lower and raise the air suspension. Helping to park the Range Rover Sport, you'll have a variety of camera angles, including a 360-degree 3D view so you don't scrape your wheels when parallel parking. Of course, with this being a Range Rover, you do have a trail cam as you traverse the off-road. Then beneath the user interface, you'll find the dials that control the 3-level heated and ventilated seats, fan speed, and temperature, and the touch-sensitive icons for the AC and front and rear defrosters. While Land Rover, like many manufacturers who are moving away from the analog dashboard design, still has a user-friendly layout that doesn't feel too complicated but looks futuristic and cutting edge. The Range Rover product line, for all intents and purposes, feels like a separate entity compared to other vehicles that wear the Land Rover badge. But interestingly enough, the Range Rover Sport for last generation was built on an iteration of the Jaguar Land Rover's D7 platform, the same chassis that underpins the Defender, Velar, and Jaguar F-Pace. With an increased number in direct competitors for the midsize SUV segment, it was certainly time for a change, as the bar has been set higher and higher from German rivals. For 2023, the Sport now shares the same platform with its larger sibling. And despite the lack of wholesale changes to the exterior design, mechanically, this switch to a better chassis immediately elevates the Sport into a new category, and better yet, brings out the best that this SUV has to offer. You see that with the interior refinement and quality, how forgiving the suspension is, and even the on-road performance. Rather than simply being seen as the more attainable Range Rover, it now feels justified that this SUV is priced $15,000 to $20,000 more expensive over the competition, as it's not just the brand heritage, the standard air suspension, and off-road modes you're paying for anymore. When you step inside for the first time, you truly feel as though this SUV is entering high-end luxury territory, rather than being an alternative to Porsche or BMW. And since it now takes attributes and characteristics from the larger Range Rover, the Sport appears to be in a class of its own. Range Rover has demonstrated throughout the years that they're not just a status symbol, but a legitimate premium luxury brand that brings a sense of prestige and exclusivity. Outwardly, you'll be immediately captivated by the Sport's new design language, which does take some inspiration from the Velar, especially with the LED headlight design, but also the body lines and minor aesthetics that actually sets its SUV apart from its larger sibling. While maybe a little more minimalistic than before, it's unquestionably one of the best looking SUVs in this segment, as it accentuates the very essence of a reserved yet posh British vehicle. Blending in nicely on the model we had featured, the black exterior pack adds a lower profile quality and sportier demeanor to this SUV that many buyers will likely option for, as it complements the sleeker front fascia for this generation. What's also noteworthy, even with the list of cosmetic improvements and alterations, the Sport retains the same image and appeal as the outgoing model, which some brands have difficulty carrying over to a new platform. As you make your way around to the back, there is the perception that Land Rover is going a bit more understated with their designs, as the thin LED lights that connects into the centerpiece of the rear fascia doesn't scream and shout at you at first glance. However, the Sport does appear to be streamlined and modern, and because it has a unique style compared to the larger Range Rover, it still makes its presence known within the lineup. Keeping the Sport looking aggressive, the dual exhaust outlets and curved roofline does add some dynamic qualities to this SUV, and with the full paint finish found throughout, the third generation continues on the tradition of being the posh and elegant alternative for this market. In the past, some journalists and consumers have complained about the Sport's truck-like driving dynamics and disconnect from the road, as the SUV market has evolved to almost emulate the handling and cornering abilities of a sedan. While this has never stopped people from buying the Range Rover Sport, this model for 2023 has undergone one major improvement, thanks to the recent acquisition of Aston Martin's former chief engineer, Matt Becker. Given the responsibility of helping to electrify the lineup, his first job was to alter the steering input to make the Sport more dynamic, but also to mask the added weight that will come with the heavier plug-in hybrid and full EV models. During our time behind the wheel, it was apparent that the Sport for this generation is taking on a new, well-rounded personality that could appeal to shoppers who may have been on the fence in the past. Whether on back roads or when entering highways, the Sport now resembles its rivals, and while it hasn't completely lost the classy and signature British on-road demeanor, it does feel more engaging to drive. Under the hood of our Range Rover Sport was a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder engine, producing 395 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque, and was paired with a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Seen across the family of Jaguar and Land Rover products, a 48-volt mild hybrid system does improve efficiency and adds smoothness to the auto start-stop system, while also playing a very minor role when accelerating. Based on the performance for the price, it's the Dynamic SE that's offering the best package, as its 5.4 second 0 to 60 time and impeccable straight line speed should put a smile on your face, while also not having you begging for a larger powertrain, even though you can upgrade to a V8, but that will come with a premium price tag. Despite the transmission and suspension tuned primarily for leisure and comfort, the Range Rover Sport is willing to meet your demands, making it a great daily commuter vehicle. There are some vehicles out there that have it all: the looks, the driving dynamics, and overall capability. And that's exactly what the new Range Rover Sport possesses. While Land Rover has always prided themselves on being both a luxury manufacturer and engineering SUVs that can traverse the off-road, the Sport now feels like it's directly competing against the likes of the BMW X5 and Porsche Cayenne. Not only can you opt for an inline 6 or V8 powertrains, but soon you can purchase a plug-in hybrid or full electric model, giving the Sport a lot of versatility and flexibility to appeal to many car shoppers in this market. Despite coming with the hefty price tag, the Range Rover Sport has the complete package that we think is worth the extra money if you desire a premium SUV this year. We hope you enjoyed this quick buyer's guide for the 2023 Range Rover Sport. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And if you're interested in buying a Range Rover Sport or any other premium luxury SUV, make sure to check out our full reviews to help you find your next vehicle. And thanks for watching.